going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to a channel update for June 22nd, 2012. And, excuse me. You may be asking yourself, gee, why is Phil sitting down for a channel update? Usually for channel updates, Phil's standing up, you know, in front of his countertop there, and he shows off stuff that he's gotten, you know, his models and such. Excuse me. The answer is quite simple. The answer is simply, I'm still pretty beat up. After the strenuous month that it's been, first earlier in the month traveling out to LA for E3 and being at E3 for a full week, standing up all day every day with my back injury, and then coming back and only having a very short week to recover, and then going off and traveling to too many games for that convention for the whole weekend. Being in that extremely long car ride, you know, 4 to 5 hours each way, it's really taking a toll on me. The good news is this. The good news is the pain is pretty much gone. You know, there's pretty much two phases to what happens to me when my back gets kind of worn out or hurt with this injury that I've got. The first is pain. And I'll be honest, when I got back from too many games, I was in pain, okay? I had shooting pain, sharp nerve pain up and down my entire left leg, all the way up to my ass, okay? And it was really bad. And over the course of this week, I've been relaxing. I haven't done anything strenuous at all. In fact, just to give you some idea, all that artwork that we showed you when we got back from too many games in the acquisitions, I haven't had a chance to hang any of it. Because I've pretty much been staying off my feet for the most part. I haven't even unpacked from too many games. I kid you not. I've only taken out the things here and there that I needed during the week. My clothes, dirty clothes, everything was still in my fucking luggage. I haven't had a chance to do any of that kind of stuff this week because of my back. So this has been a recuperation week for me, pretty much. But the good news is that most of the pain is gone. The bad news is I still have extreme tenseness. What that means is that every time that I stand up, it feels like the muscles in my back, especially in my left leg, but in my entire back, feel like they're tight as hell and being pulled to their limit. And it makes it extremely difficult for me to move around. I can still get up and walk. Oh, but as you can see, it's tight as hell, and when I move, I mean, I can walk, but it's very limited. I can only walk for a couple minutes, and I have to take a break. So, unfortunately, that's been my week. I knew this was coming. I knew this was going to happen with all the travel and stuff that I've been doing. In fact, take a look at me. I haven't shaven. You know, I haven't done a lot of things since I got back from too many games, simply because my back has been so strained. You know, I don't want to stand in front of a mirror for 15 minutes shaving and stress out my back and such. So there's some things I just haven't gotten to. It is what it is. Having a back injury, I'm used to it. This has happened to me before. Last year when I was traveling for Street Fighter, this actually happened once or twice. So I'm completely used to it. It's nothing out of the ordinary or anything, but it is just something. That's why I kind of wanted to explain. I'm doing a channel update. He's sitting down. He usually doesn't. Why isn't he shaving or anything all week? That's why, okay? But what I want to talk about is a couple interesting topics, some things that have happened over the course of this week. And I also want to reiterate a couple things because this week, on Monday, when I made the weekend preview, it was bundled together with the final Too Many Games videos and also the trailer for Episode 4 of Project 7, which I will be talking about in this video. And it really didn't get a lot of views. It only got like 15,000 views, so not a lot of people watched the weekend preview. So I just want to reiterate some stuff, but get everyone in the know, okay? So, first thing, Project 7 Episode 4 trailer has had a tremendous response. I mean, this trailer has almost 90,000 views. In fact, by the time you see this video, it may be over that. Within a 3-day span. I uploaded it like real late on Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, okay, and then some of Friday. That's crazy good. I think that's actually some of the fastest growing views we've ever had on a Project 7 video. I think that actually is more growing views than we actually had on Project 7 Episode 3, to be completely honest. So it's great to know that the interest is still there, even though we've been facing some difficulties and delays, and it's been taking such a long time to put out this next episode. The plan right now is still on track that this weekend, hopefully, Respect the Pack will have the episode done. In fact, they're supposed to have it done sometime tonight, if not tomorrow, Saturday. And so, I will tell you what the plan is as I talk, because I'm going to talk all about Saturday coming up, but I want to talk about a couple things that happened during this week before we get there, okay? The Too Many Games footage had a tremendous fan response as well, by the way. Thanks to everyone who checked out that footage. I definitely recommend, if you haven't, that you do check it out again, because it was some really interesting stuff, and we had a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun on these trips, and I think it was pretty good. I want to let everyone know, I mentioned in some of the Too Many Games footage that Pixel Papa was actually going to do an article regarding an interview that he did with me at Too Many Games. That is now live and went live as of last night. I actually tweeted about it, but what I'll do is I'll put it in the description of this video as well, so you can check this out. It's over on his website, RetroGaming.net, and it's pretty cool. It's a quick write-up about me, and then a 5-minute interview about Too Many Games, about what I do on YouTube, about artwork, and how I'm a fan of art, and I've been purchasing art for the past year or so at all these conventions. So that's a pretty cool interview. Definitely check that out. So this week, what happened this week? What was my mindset? Why did I play what I played? I think a lot of people would be interested in this. I was up in the air, even as of doing the weekend preview earlier this week, I was up in the air of what I was going to play this week. Because this week, no major retail releases. Don't worry, I know about Lego Batman 2. We're going to talk about that, okay? So I'll get to that. But there were no major retail releases this week. It was a down week for me. And I've done a couple things this year. Sometimes I just pick what I'm going to play, and people get disappointed if I don't pick the right thing. Sometimes I did a poll on my website, and then some people were disappointed because, oh, what I wanted didn't win the poll, and all kinds of stuff. And to be honest, last time I did a poll, the views weren't too hot, even on those videos. So I said, I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to pick what I think people will like to see. And I looked at all of my options of everything that I had encompassed, and I decided that I was going to do a retro week for PlayStation 2, meaning I had Sly Cooper Part 1 HD on my PlayStation. I had actually gotten it completely for free for being a PS Plus member a couple months back, and I actually have the Jak and Daxter HD collection, which the Arid Lord lent to me at Too Many Games. And I said, this would be the perfect opportunity. Let's do like a marathon of retro platformers for the PS2. Two of the big 3 games that everyone loved and grew up with on the PS2. I'd never played them because at that era, I was actually into competitive Street Fighter. I wasn't playing console games very much. So that's what I did over the course of this week. It took 2 days to beat Sly, and then 2 days to beat Jak and Daxter. In my opinion, the games are fun. The games are they're good. They are hit or miss on a lot of things. But keep in mind, these games are a decade old, you know? Okay, the camera's back, but since then, things like that have been fixed. Okay, some of the controls maybe are a little wonky, instant deaths, not very good checkpoints. But I understand why. It's a decade old. Over the past decade, things have improved dramatically. Look where these companies have gone. Sly Cooper went on to make Infamous. Naughty Dog went on to make Uncharted, and both those titles are outstanding. So you understand where their roots are coming from and how they became what they became in the modern times. So I had a blast playing both these games. I enjoyed both of the games. A couple things I want to address. First of all, no, I'm not jumping straight into Sly 2 and 3 or Jak 2 and 3. A lot of people were leaving comments, oh, I hope he does that. Well, see, you have to think of it from a mindset of someone who, yes, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but also I'm playing the games. Me, only one person is playing the games, and I'm putting out videos. So two reasons I don't want to jump into the sequels right away. Number one, I'm all platformed out. I just spent 4 days playing platformer games. I want to do something different, okay? In addition to that, for video-wise, some people are getting burnt out. I just played 2 platformer games from the PS2 era. If I put up more, some people might say, oh my god, I've had enough. You know, it was cool to see the first game, but I'm not going to sit here for 2 weeks and just watch PS2 platformer games. So, for variety's sake, I have to mix it up and do something different. So no, I will not be playing Sly 2 and 3 or Jak 2 and 3 right away. I may play them in the future, but I'm saving that up for another time. It's not going to happen anywhere in the near future, okay? Number 2, and this is one that I think I really do need to address because I see it all the time on YouTube, and it's disappointing because not that it makes me angry, but that people don't understand. They still, after 4 years of me doing videos on YouTube, they don't understand what's going on, okay? Some people watch me play Sly Cooper, some people watch me play Jak and Daxter, and all they do is complain. They watch me play, and keep in mind, the way I approach these games is the same way I approach every game that I play. It's a Joe Schmo, Joe average. I'm jumping into the game, I'm going to play it through from start to finish within a relatively short period of time, meaning I'm not going to play it for 2 weeks, an hour a day. I'm going to play it several hours a day till I beat it. And, if there's stuff that I think is difficult, stuff that I think doesn't work properly, if I'm having negative experiences along with the positive, I'm going to mention them. And yeah, sometimes I'm going to rage and complain about them. This is what I've done since day one on YouTube. Never changed, okay? But then you got these people who still don't get it. They're like these elitist people who, just because, okay, I grew up with Jak and Daxter, it's my favorite game series, okay? Well, here's someone trying to play it for the first time and they're complaining a little bit because the camera's not working properly, it's a clunky camera, sometimes the controls don't work properly, the game's not being self-explanatory enough on what to do in certain areas. Okay, whether I agree with him or not, just because Jak and Daxter is my favorite game series and maybe I'm really good at it, time to fucking put shitty elitist comments all over the videos. And so what you're going to see is pretty silly, to be honest. When you watch the Jak and Daxter playthrough and you look at a lot of the videos where I'm having trouble, like for example the claw boss fight, some of the stuff in the spider caves is very difficult if you don't know how to do it, which is funny because I stopped playing last night, I slept on it, woke up today, started reading some people's comments on those videos that were helpful, and they said you gotta do the triple jump, here's how you do it. Oh, you needed to just touch the dark eco crystals. The game doesn't explain it, and sometimes when you touch them, it doesn't work. That is a bug in the game. You need to keep doing it, but hang in there, and you'll complete this mission and get this power cell. So after reading those tips, immediately I go back to the cave and complete everything I couldn't complete. So it's not even that, you know, it's that the game just doesn't give you enough information. I don't have a strategy guide. It's another thing. I'm not reading facts. I don't have a strategy guide. I don't do that kind of stuff. So it's a Joe average playthrough of just your first experience with the game. People still don't understand that. Oh, they'll leave comments, oh, when I was 9 I beat this game and I did better than DSP and he's a loser and an asshole and my E-penis is fucking 20 feet long because I beat this game when I was 9. Here's a little hint, and I said it in a video, the first video I recorded today. Nobody fucking cares, alright? No one cares if you were 8.5 years old and you came home from school and you opened this game and you did a speed run playthrough and you beat it. No one gives a shit, okay? If you're so proud of how good you are at a certain game, why don't you do your own playthrough, get partnered with a company, and make money off of it? You don't have to leave this fucking jealous-ass comment on my video that I'm not as good as you at the game, and why is he getting paid to suck at this game? Like, where are you coming from? You're out of your fucking mind. You're wasting your time leaving that comment. Nobody, literally, nobody cares about your experience, okay? Now, if you want to leave a constructive comment or something funny, or so, oh, okay, Phil, here's how you do it. That's different. But, when I was 7, I fucking did this part, and I got every fucking power node in this area with no problems, and DSP sucks monkey ass at every game he plays. Nobody cares about you, okay? And I'm not trying to say that like a dick, like, but honestly, these people just like, they're so anxious to say I'm better than you, just to jump up on a video, I did something better than Phil, I have to talk about it. Nobody fucking cares. And so I apologize to the fans who are watching the playthrough and enjoying it for what it is and knowing that, okay, Phil's just doing the same thing he does in every game and it's funny and we watch it and that's why we watch Phil, as opposed to I'm watching Phil for perfection speed runs and I'm better than him at this game, so let me leave a bunch of negative comments, okay? The other thing is, understand I'm playing this game for the very first time. I have never touched these games or any games in these series before. Now, maybe when you were 9, sure, this is probably the first time you played a Jak and Daxter game. But how many people, when they were 9 years old, beat the game in 2 days, sitting here for 5.5 hours yesterday and another like hour and a half today, 2 hours today, to beat the game? Nobody. Because when you're a kid, you don't do that. You sit for a couple hours, you play, okay, now it's time to go to school, it's time to do this, or it's time to, you know, I'm doing it completely differently than everyone else. So, there's no frame of reference. I'm sure, and I said this in the video, I'm sure that a lot of people, okay, you were better than me at the game, but you probably went through trial and error just like I did. You probably didn't know how to do the triple jump right away, and once you figured it out, amazingly, every jump in the game becomes way easier to do, and that's exactly what happened to me. Once I figured out how to do it, every jump in the game became amazingly easier. You know, it's very rare when I use biblical references, but I said this in a video, so I'll say it here too. Let the person who's never sinned cast the first stone. This was an anecdote used by Jesus Christ in the New Testament of the Bible, where a man was about to be stoned for his crimes. And a whole angry mob had come around him, and they're all picking up rocks. I guess he had committed some crime, I forget which one it was, and so the punishment was death. And they said, we're just going to beat the fuck out of him with stones till he dies. Jesus walked up, and of course at this point Jesus was gaining popularity in this area as like a religious leader, and they said, what do you think? And he said, let the person who's never basically made a mistake in their life be the first person to punish this guy. And everyone looked at him and said, damn, and they all put down their rocks and walked away. Same thing here. If you've never made a mistake in Jak and Daxter, and you beat the game in an amazing speedrun fashion, well, good for you. then maybe you can leave these hateful comments. But if you didn't, who the fuck are you, you know? You probably made the same mistakes I did. Sure, you didn't record it back then and upload it to a public website, but that's part of the appeal of my videos. You get to see, gee, what is this game like for a person who's never played it before? They're playing it cold. They're doing it in their own fashion. It's actually funny, because some people who've been watching me play these games this week, for example, in Sly Cooper, there's a boss, an alligator boss, that a lot of people say is one of the most difficult bosses they've ever fought in a video game, because what it is, it plays like Dance Dance Revolution. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but like a Bomani game where the boss throws a pattern of button inputs at you, and you have to be perfect with the inputs. If you fuck up once, you pretty much have to replay the entire boss fight over, and it's like a 5-minute boss fight. So it's really like X, Y, X, Y, Y, circle. You know, stuff like that. Now, of course, there's no Y on this controller, so I just made myself look really stupid. But, alright, square, X, circle, 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 triangle, and you just keep doing it over and over and over. What most people don't know is that I grew up with games like that. I played Parappa the Rapper, okay? That's all those games were, timed button presses. So I'm completely used to that stuff, and that's the kind of stuff I can adapt to right away. I beat the boss on the first try, and people lift comments like, Phil beats certain stuff immediately that we all think, or the common person would think is difficult, and other stuff that the common person might figure out and really quickly he has difficulty with. Well, guess what? I grew up in a different era than most of you. I did. I grew up in a completely different gaming era, so yeah, I have different skill sets than probably a lot of my fan base and a lot of my viewer base, so you have to understand that. But yeah, I'm not completely sucking at every part of these games. A lot of these games I'm actually doing really well in, and it's funny that you don't hear people talk too much about that. It's only these fucking people who want to talk about the size of their E-dick and say, wow, I beat that when I was 7 years old and I'm better than Phil. So keep the shit at home. You just make yourself look stupid. You really do. When you leave stupid fucking comments like that, nobody cares. Everyone looks at us like, what a loser that this guy had to fucking post something up about that. No one cares. We're watching these videos for Phil because we enjoy Phil and his commentary and his gameplay style. We're not watching it to hear about some fucking elitist perfectionist beat the game when he was young and he's better than Phil. No one gives a fuck. It's completely unrelated to the content of the video. So I just had to address that. It's hilarious when you see those kind of comments because it makes you say, Jay, this guy really feels so bad about himself that he's take time out to comment about how good he was at this game 10 years ago. Nobody gives a shit. So it is what it is. I apologize to those who saw the flood of those kinds of comments on those two games that I played this week, okay? Alright, I want to talk about Saturday, what's coming up for the rest of this week until new games come out next week, and a little bit about next week because there's been some changes. Saturday, John Rambo will be coming over. We're going to do an episode of Smart Guys for the first time in several weeks, so that'll be good. We're going to simulate the WWE No Way Out pay-per-view that happened last week. Remember, we couldn't do it last week because we were at too many games. We're going to simulate it this week in WWE 12. We're going to try to do as many matches as we can out of that pay-per-view. Now we know what the card was, so we can try to simulate that. In addition to that, we're going to play Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. That's right. All week I've been badgered by people. Phil, why didn't you get it? Phil, why aren't you playing it? Phil. Alright, here's the deal. I've played Lego games in the past. I disliked them. I actually have Lego Indiana Jones. I played it for a couple hours. I was bored to tears. I didn't want to play it anymore. But now I've actually heard that things have changed and that this Lego game is a serious game. It's actually pretty damn good, and it has full 2-player co-op. Sounds like a perfect game for John and I to do in co-op, doesn't it? Especially because it's Batman. We're both fans of Batman, and it has other DC superheroes in it. This is going to be right up our alley. So we're going to be starting that this Saturday and probably continuing it every Saturday that we do co-op until we beat it. So it's probably going to go over the span of several Saturdays, which is great. That means good content that you want to see is going to be coming. So that's definitely a positive. If I do receive Project 7 Episode 4 this weekend from Perspective Pact, which I believe I will, I have not heard anything to the contrary from those guys. It will be going live this weekend. More than likely, it'll be Saturday night or early Sunday after all the co-op gameplay between myself and John is complete. And what I'm going to do, just like I've done with the Project 7 Episode 4 trailer, I'm going to make that the main video on my DSPGaming page, on all my alternate channels that I've used in the past, so that everyone can see it and not say, oh, where was it? I didn't know it was out. Well, now you'll have no excuse. It's everywhere, okay? So that will be coming out over the course of the weekend. This Sunday, Monday is a little bit up in the air. Let me explain why. My parents actually have just, they're on vacation right now, and they're coming back actually on, I believe it's Sunday, or either late Saturday or Sunday. I'm not 100% on exactly the timing of that. But they'll be coming back then, and usually on the weekends, I I go see my parents every weekend or I have dinner with them or something. I don't know if that's happening this week because they're probably going to be so jet lagged and beat from, being where they were on vacation that they're probably not going to be able to meet. But they might. I don't know. I haven't talked to them because they've been on vacation. So I'm going to talk to them on Sunday and we'll see. If I'm going to meet up with them, chances are a lot of stuff's going to happen. So I'm going to be busy with a lot of personal stuff on Sunday. If not, then I'll have more time to record and do more gameplay. What am I planning on playing? I haven't decided yet. I know I have a bunch of things I'm mulling over in my head. I'm mulling over the last Phoenix Wright case for Justice for All, but I'm kind of being reluctant to do that because I only have whatever time I'm playing on Sunday and Monday to do it, and I don't know how long that case is going to be. The last case took me 2 full days to beat, and if this one's longer than that, I may be screwed and have this cliffhanger ending where I don't get to finish it, okay? In addition to that, there's new games coming out on Tuesday, so I need to basically be ready to do that and not have no voice because I did Phoenix Wright for 2 days. I'm debating doing some Sega CD games. I'm debating doing some NES games like Ninja Gaiden that I picked up at Too Many Games. I actually have a couple other ones that I've had mulled over. I almost did one earlier this year, but I didn't have a chance to do it. So I've got some ideas bouncing around my head that I'm thinking of doing. So I will let everyone know once that time approaches, but there will be content Sunday, Monday. I'm just not sure what then. Now, the one thing that I want to talk about coming up this week, now I am going to do a weekend preview, but there's been a couple announcements. The first announcement is the Mass Effect 3 DLC that adds to the ending of the game and flushes out more information is coming out this Tuesday, June 26th, and it's completely for free. So what I'm going to do is try to do that. I think you're going to probably have to beat the game again, and so I'll have to do the ending sequence of the game again, and if I do, I'm going to try to see what this DLC adds to the ending of the game. So that's coming. Also, it's possible that Episode 2 of The Walking Dead's coming out this week. There's a lot of rumors about it, but it hasn't been confirmed. So if it comes out, I'll be playing it. If not, then obviously I won't be. The 2 retail releases this week are Spec Ops: The Line and Amazing Spider-Man. I'm definitely going to be playing Spec Ops: The Line first, because Amazing Spider-Man I want to push a little bit more towards when the movie comes out. We'll see what happens with that. But you see what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on right now. The Skyrim DLC, unfortunately, is only coming out for Xbox 360 this week. It's being delayed at least a month, if not longer, for PlayStation 3 and PC. I have the game on PC, so I'm going to have to hold out. Nothing I can do about that. If you want to complain, go complain to Bethesda. Tell them to stop making these fucking stupid content agreements with Microsoft for money, because that's exactly what it was. Microsoft paid them so the Xbox would get the exclusives. I think it's bullshit. Everyone should get it at the same time. But that being said, there's going to be a lot of new content coming out this week, so stay tuned. But I wanted to talk about the new things that had happened because I think you should know ahead of time. So that's it for this channel update. A lot of content, a lot of information. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative for you. I am now going to take a nice, relaxing break for today because tomorrow I'm going to have a jam-packed day full of stuff with John Rambo. So that's it. Enjoy the playthroughs for this week if you haven't seen them yet. I think they're really good. First time experiencing these games. Take it with a grain of salt. Understand I'm not perfect at the games. And if you see silly comments, don't let it get to you. Just ignore them or flag them for spam because these people obviously have some kind of a fucking complex. They think they have to brag about shit. It's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, that's it for now. I'm all done venting and getting everything off my chest. I will see you for more gameplay. Thanks a lot and see you then.